Hi guys, welcome to another HEC podcast. This is the second one, and today we will be talking about third-party support and, of course, first-party support for the Nintendo Switch. Now, I've been looking at the names, and I've only know a couple of them. I know a couple of the logos, and mainly because they've made our childhood. You know, everyone knows Bandai Namco, and then they came together. We know Atlas now. Well, not now. I mean, we knew Atlas. Capcom, Sega, EA, Konami, of course, Arc, and of course Nintendo. And these are the actual companies I'll be talking about. The third-party companies are, of course, everything on this list except for Nintendo. And there's way more companies out there. Of course, I don't know every single one of them, and of course, I'm not going to touch up on every single one of them, even if I do know them. Today, I'm just going to be talking about the games I want to see, whether it's a remaster, prequel, or sequel. I just want to see them on the Switch, and it would be awesome to have them there. It'd be so cool. Now, let's start things off. All right, Bandai Namco. Kind of weird, right? I'm not starting with Nintendo. First party. But Bandai is third party, so let's do this. I want to see Soul Calibur, and it doesn't have to be super HD graphics. I want to see Soul Calibur. I want to see Tekken, the fighting game. Excuse me. I want to see Pac-Man. I want to see Dragon Ball Z. Oops, hit my computer there. All right, those four things I want to see. I'm not super stoked about any of those four, but I mean, those are some pretty good games, you know? Alright, now, Atlas. This one I'm kind of stoked about. Atlas is mainly brought to us Persona, which I want to see. But to be honest, I want to see Persona 3 again. I'm sorry, not 3, 4. I want to see Persona 4 again because I love Persona 4. I love it so much. And I've bought the game twice, the original and the golden version, and I would pay heavy money to get the golden version on the Switch because that would be so awesome. All right, cool. So that's what I'm stoked for. Capcom. Street Fighter. We already got a Street Fighter. And just Ultra Street Fighter 2, I'm totally okay with. So that's fine. I just included Street Fighter because Capcom is really awesome. Another Okami game. Okami is really awesome. It's a really cool game. I haven't beaten it. I got halfway and then I got stuck on a puzzle in which I could not pass. Either way, still legit, very pretty game. I love it so much. It's wonderful. Mega Man. I want to see Mega Man. I know that's kind of weird to say because, of course, there's so many already, but Mega Man, 2 was so legit. Mega Man 3 was, alright. Mega Man 1 was hard, which was ultimately amazing. And, of course, they added, 9 and 10, and 10 had, a lot of characters. But, I just want to see more Mega Man on this console. I don't know why. Just Capcom, the feels, you know. Sega. Bet you didn't see this one coming, did you? I'm not really a big fan of Sega. I'm sorry to say that, but I do actually have 3 games I want to see from Sega on this. Oh, I should also explain. These third parties are they're either publishers or they're either the creators of the game. Now, I'm just saying from a point of when you of course, if you are a publisher, that means you have your hands in the game one way or another. And whether that's good or bad doesn't change the fact that even though you didn't create the game, I would like to see them bring that game to life through the Switch. So I know I might be saying some things. You're like, whoa, they didn't make that, you know? But they published it, and it's, I don't know, just wanted to do stuff and help out, and of course this is my list. Going back to what I was saying, Sega, I want to see Yakuza, because I've only seen this game a couple times. I've only seen it once in person, and it was cool, it was legit, but I don't know, I've never actually had the game in my hands, and I was like, it should be on the Switch, because it's like GTA in a sense, So yeah, I mean, like, if I could grab that and go on the go, not that I like GTA, but I do love the Japanese lifestyle, so Yakuza is one. Monkey Ball? Question mark. I actually wrote this with a question mark. Mainly because I don't believe it. Well, yeah, it does have motion controls. So if you could just like mess around with the Switch doing so, almost as if you were playing the maze game from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the Wii. But I mean, I don't know. I think it would be fun. Monkey Ball is kind of underrated. It's cute. It's nice. It's hard. Really hard. But, you know, like, it's sweet. And I want to see Knights. Of course, I haven't played Knights. Looks legit. I think you could... they have potential of making Knights amazing. Like, super cool. Like, the way they're making the way they're making Sonic, I think is how they should be making Knights, as opposed to making Sonic, you know, running forward or in 3D. I mean, like, you know, they know what to do with Knights. Please bring Knights. Alright, EA, bet you didn't see this one coming either. Of course, this comes with Edgar Wright. Not Edgar Wright, I'm so sorry. That's the director. Oh man, I can't remember his name. The guy who created The Sims. And everyone's like, whoa. I'm like, yeah, bring Sims to the Switch. Because then you don't have to stop creating. Konami, kind of not a good, what do you call it? You know, like, it's like a bad breakup between Konami and the video game industry. However, there is one game I want them to bring to us, and that's Contra. And let me say it like this. When I say I want Contra, I mean I want a kind of detailed, not 3D, old-fashioned side-scroller, but I want things to be rendered. I want things to be there, as opposed to them being sprites and then appearing, especially when they're right behind you and you're like 2 inches away from the screen or from the back side of the screen, and they appear like halfway. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. That was a problem for me. But I mean, even like it's just things appeared and like disappeared, and it was hard. It was nice to control. It was legit, but I want Contra in a more 3D, not 3D, in a more 3D detailed environment. You know, like I want it nice and looking pretty. Let's see, Arc System Works. Apparently they created Double Dragon. And I was like, yes, I would love Double Dragon on the Switch. That would be sweet. You already have 2 controllers on it. And the last Double Dragon, which was on Xbox, I think, had a 2-player thing as well. Like Double Dragon Neon, I believe it was called. It was legit, you know? And I was like, all right, cool. Now, of course, out of this third-party list that I created, the ones that I'm excited for would be Persona 4 Golden, or Persona 4, just because Persona 4 is my favorite. Like, is my favorite game of this era of my life. Because I never got into, like, the Persona series, and I was so into, like, whatever I was into. But getting into that, it was like my dream come true of what does a Japanese lifestyle look like with, oh, sweet RPG elements, you know? Because one side you were battling monsters, and the other side you were going to school and talking to your friends, and it was like, oh, this is, like, really cool. I thought this was, like, impossible to make in a video game, but they did it, and it was fun and neat. So, yeah, Persona 4. I want to see, that's it. Like, that's really it out of this whole list. But I mean, like, that's the third party. Before I explain my Nintendo and what I want from them, I want to explain something really quick. I am a gamer who not only doesn't know what he wants, because I don't. There's times where I'm like, this sounds cool, and in the end, it kind of bites me. But I also, because of that, put my expectations either really high or super low. And I usually put them really high just because I don't want things to hurt me. You know, because really low, it's like, oh, this sounds cool, I'll take it for what it is. But lately I've been like, no, I'm gonna wait for the next big thing. Mainly because I'm tired of things being awesome and then like not being awesome. So before we were waiting for like E3 and all these other things, and E3 last year there was a game that was announced that really like hit my soul, and it was the Crash Bandicoot remake for the PlayStation 4. Now, I was the most excited out of this than anything else. Like I'm not one for first person shooters, because I'm like they're all just like money making juggernauts, and as much as thought as you would think goes into them doesn't change the fact that one after another they keep the same ideal, in the sense of this is what people want, why would you change what's not broken? And it's like, okay, but maybe let's step aside from something that is good, quote unquote, and switch it up, because if this already makes money, let's now change the gaming industry to give another genre amazing things, So then I say this, of course, because there's a lot of first-person shooter fans who are like, oh man, my Call of Duty is so amazing, and it's like, yeah, sure, that's what you like, that's, I support you, but maybe let's start focusing on all these other games, So Crash Bandicoot really hit me hard, and I was like, oh my gosh, that game is so good, I love that game. It has some flaws in it, it's got a lot of flaws in it, but I love it nonetheless. And when they were like, oh, remaster, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, yes, and I was like, I'm gonna get a PlayStation 4. like this is the only reason I'm gonna get a PlayStation 4, and I was so happy. I'm still not sure because the Switch is really grabbing on. It's like a love triangle, man. Like this whole Switch thing, I was like, no, I can't. Nintendo and me, we were kind of on like bad terms, like we kind of broke it off, whatever. But then the Switch came along, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is so hard to love again. So it's like, what do I want from Nintendo? Well, I only have 3 things to ask, and here they are. I want the game apps for your iOS devices on the Switch. I know that sounds weird, but if we could get Mario Run and Final Fantasy, the app game, I don't know what it's called, I'm sorry, onto our Switches, that would be legit, and I would be totally okay with that. But that's not exactly like my main focus. Now, next thing, it was actually the last thing, but it's not like super important. The NES Mini, those 30 games for $60. I don't know, like, but that idea to me is still so amazing. They sold out everywhere. The NES Mini sold out everywhere, and just like the Switch the first time. And instead of remaking more NES Minis, you should just make an emulation and/or / a sales pack of those 30 games for $60, and I guaranteed you people will buy it, even if they have those games on other consoles. People will buy the NES Mini downloadable content because those are all the games we asked for, like all the games we love, all the games we grew up with. Heck, even some of those games made it on this list just now. Pac-Man. Let's see. What else? Contra. Street Fighter wasn't in there, is it? No, it wasn't. That wasn't until the Famicom. The Super Nintendo. The Super Famicom. But Mega Man. There's like so many Mega Mans on the NES alone. But like those 30 games were legit. Oh, you know what would be really cool? Like, oh well, I mean, I say this like, oh, it's gonna be so awesome, but it wouldn't. It'd be really cool to me, a Ice Climber HD remake with like more enemies and like different ways to go up and or down. Ooh, switching the gameplay, whatever you guys think. I want to hear your list after this is done. I only got one more thing to talk about, and it's been my main thing. Like, this is what I want from Nintendo. People are gonna be weirded out by what I'm about to say. I want a Mario 64 remastered for the Switch. Now, instead of you being like, they already did that and it was for the DS. No, I want Odyssey graphics for the 64. I mean, for the Mario 64. Not only that, but I want more terrain around the castle. Not only that, I want there to be more paintings and worlds. I want there to be, you don't even have to add the 4 characters. You don't have to add Yoshi or Wario and Luigi, and Mario was the 4th one. You just have to, it was just lots of characters. You can have all these people. You could or you couldn't. I'm sorry. With all these people, what matters to me is, and this is how I came up with this idea. Let me just say this first. Mario 64, there was a stage of one of the worlds in there from Galaxy. Or, I'm sorry, to Galaxy. So, I can't even remember what the Galaxy was called, but it brought you back to the world where the giant things, the walls that fall on their face and you have to like butt stomp on their back. You had to face one of those, and then you went through the secret passage to fight like the king of that. And it's like, wow, this is so cool, and it had like Galaxy graphics, and the music was on point, and like there was just more things in a sense of like, oh wow, it's not just like a giant brownie like stage. It's like a whole universe in which you fight all around it, and it was really neat and it was super cool, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And that's the moment when I was like, they should make a 64 using Galaxy graphics, because that would be cool. And just the more worlds and the detail, the polish, the like, it would be so amazing. And you could have the more characters. You could add Luigi. You can add Wario. I'm not sure about Yoshi, just because Yoshi didn't really do anything like important. But like, sorry. It like you could add like Toad, Peach, because they were in Mario World for the Wii U. I don't remember what that game is called. Super Mario Land? I can't remember. But I mean, like, Toad was quick and he was amazing. You could do speed runs with him. Peach, more agile, can float in the air, so you can play more defensively. Luigi can jump higher, so you could use him on a speed run in the sense of going vertical. So, I mean, these are all different ideas of how you could use these games and use them differently. But I mean, like, this list is so awesome in the sense of, this is what people would be down for. This is what I would be down for, especially, of course, out of my own list, I'm only super down for, like, 2 games. And one of them, like, is a Nintendo game, which is kind of sad, all things considering, but, like, it's, I don't know, man, like, Nintendo, they've been making, like, Zelda has been in, like, the process in 8 years, like, it took us 8 years to get Breath of the Wild out. And it's legit, and it looks great, and it's beautiful. We've been waiting for this moment all of our lives. And it's like, after this is done, what else do we do? I mean, yeah, sure, like Odyssey's cool, I guess, but I mean, like, it's not hyped. It's not as hyped as Breath of the Wild. Like, Breath of the Wild was hyped from the very beginning, and we see Odyssey, and it's cool. It's cool. It's really cool, but it's not as hyped, and I lost my hype for like literally everything else. And as I was giving up on Breath of the Wild before he was even called Breath of the Wild, and we got Crash, that hype came back, and I was like, this game, like, because Crash has been gone for a long time in the sense of in its originality, and they're like, well, it's the same game. And it's like, well, yeah, it's a remaster. Like, what else do you expect from it? And they gave us what do you call it? The speed trials, which is cool, like, you gotta take it for what it is, because as much as I love Nintendo, it makes me sad, because Nintendo hasn't really, because they're loving in a different way. Not everyone loves the same way we want to be loved, or how we loved, and like, we want to see Nintendo prosper, and we don't want to be screwed over, Nintendo has these great ideas, and then these not so great ideas. We can't be perfect. Like, everything we do is derived from a mess up that somehow came to be better, If I could quote Steven Universe for a second, or Greg Universe, if every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. Like, if it wasn't for all these different things from Nintendo, we wouldn't have the Switch. But I really want the Switch to be awesome, because if it's not awesome, and even though I would spend like $500 on the console and a game or two, plus some DLC, or also some the online services, like, I would want it to be good. Truly a better deal than starting off $500 with a PlayStation 4, maybe. But man, I just want it to be better. Like, I want my gaming experience to be awesome. It's been a while since I've been hyped for anything. I've been hyped for Street Fighter V for PlayStation 4, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like, the graphics can only do so much, which is why when Ultra Street Fighter 2 came out, I was like, this is what I've been waiting for, in the sense of going back to the roots. Like, you can derive something so much that it's something brand new and yet still the same, but going back to the basics is truly beautiful, because you witness the painting for what it is. If there's a mural where it starts off with one guy, and then, like, he's done with the mural, like, he's like not even a graffiti artist, he just paints something on a side of a wall, and it's gorgeous. Now let's say this team of taggers come by, and they start tagging the wall. Now, they don't tag it inappropriately, they make it beautiful, almost as if they were adding to the picture that was first there. And I was like, wow, this is like really neat, And you could think of anything. When I think of this, I think of Venus, like the woman coming out of the clam, I believe, and she's standing there with all her glory. I don't know much about that painting other than she's gorgeous, and she's just standing there, and her beauty, like, is just coming out of the wall. Now, when these guys are tagging the wall around Venus, they're just like boom, 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 like more clouds, more angels, and it's beautiful, almost as if they're focusing the painting, like, more focused into the middle, and where Venus is there with all of her glory. But if you just for a second go back to the old days, because after years and years of seeing that, and you strip the everything from the left to the right of it, and you see that empty white wall or black wall with Venus right there in the middle, there'd be something beautiful about that. Because only then, when she stands alone, can her true beauty be seen. I kind of forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, that's right. Nintendo. I'm so sorry. I got so lost in this metaphor that I lost my way. The point is that Nintendo is amazing in its own way. You know, Nintendo has their faults, and I want them to strive. And because I want to have the best gaming experience. Now, if it doesn't do well, even if it doesn't follow this list, you know, I want to be gaming even after this. And I want them to keep doing their best. And maybe they don't have to be like, okay, now it's on to bigger, better things. How about let's just stick with this console for a couple more years. You know, like, instead of making a brand new console and or starting a brand new console off the bat, which they like to do often, you know, like, the PlayStation 3 just came out, let's make the PlayStation 4, you know? But if they could just stick with the Switch for a while and just make really good games for it, third party or not, I think I would be okay with this. Thank you guys for listening. I know this is kind of a weird podcast. I'm all alone. It's just me, Hec-Hec. Sorry, I don't think I introduced myself earlier. Thank you for coming by, listening. I did some studying a couple of days ago about these games and their publishers and creators. When I talk about all these things, please remember that, of course, this is my opinion, what I think. And, you know, like, we can all come together in the sense of we are all gamers. And, you know, like, because I didn't make fun of anyone's love or want in anyone's gaming advice. What? That didn't make any sense. I didn't make fun of anyone's taste in gaming. Thank you. You're welcome. Well, when it comes to that, it's, you know, we can come together in the sense of gaming, that we are all gamers, and we don't have to hate on each other for what we like or what we dislike. In fact, we can come together and be like, the Switch is coming out, and it's already sold out, and we have to wait till April for the next pre-order. And I didn't even get my pre-order, like, at all. I'm too busy doing other things. That being said, I would like to say thank you again for listening. And if you like this, because this content is not monetized on YouTube, I would like to say, please check out my Patreon. Hey, look at that! I do have a Patreon. You can become a member for $20. I don't think I'll change that at all. It's just going to be $20 just to be one heck of a person. And with those $20, you can help me out grow my Patreon in the sense of doing Q&As. You can ask me questions and I will answer them on the show on a separate episode. Not only that, but help me when it comes to doing rewards. So when I'm doing rewards, I'll know what people want because they will be answering that question on the Patreon as well. But yeah, it's going to be super cool stuff and it's going to be really neat. Please go by and check that out. Donate if you can. If you don't, that's all okay and all fine. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much again for listening. Go check out my Patreon, like, comment, subscribe if you want. And you don't have to listen to me. I'm not your boss. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.